Welcome to the Prophecy Club. Our topic today is a really scary one. China to attack Taiwan January 10 through 24. Now, I do not have a second confirming voice on that. That only comes from Vicky Parnell. However, Coverstone seems to confirm it, though he's not a date. And let me also give you another disclaimer here. My wife, Prophet Leslie Johnson, says God never gives dates. So I want to say absolutely positively, I am not saying that Taiwan is going to be attacked between January 10 to 24. But I'm a watchman. And when I find something from a reasonably to believed voice, and in case of Vicky, she's had a lot. She's had a lot of things that have been what I believe are from God. Now, has she had a long string of things that have come to pass yet? No, but then Jeremiah's got a long string of things that hadn't come to pass yet. So I'm bringing it to you. I'm bringing it to you because in light of a lot of other things going on around the world, I don't think it's too hard to believe this. So, China to attack Taiwan January 10 to 24 is what she is saying. I also remember Coverstone says that there's going to be a lot of people shut down. They're not going to let them talk. So I strongly recommend that you stop watching Prophecy Club where you're watching it and start watching it on our app. Wherever you're watching it, it's probably going to be more convenient and easier to watch it on an app. You can download it at the App Store. And you start watching it either audio or video. If you get a phone call, it pauses it. After the phone call, it'll restart it. Go check it out. All right, so we've been also wondering, what is the wake-up event? You know, we've been wanting for a long time for Americans to start waking up and realizing that, yes, they're in the end times, and for most of us out there, that there's not going to be a pre-trib rapture. Well, I don't think the rapture event is this wake-up event. But according to the prophecy, this is the event that's going to begin to start waking America up. Now, first, a couple of things of background first. So this is from Coverstone back in 22. This is summarized. He dreamed that I was watching a large passenger plane with an American flag on its tail wing. It began a slight normal descent. The people on board through the windows appeared unafraid, reading magazines, listening through headphones, resting and sleeping, as in, that's a description of most Americans right now. Suddenly, the plane did a nosedive straight down. The people on board made no changes in their activity. That's probably Taiwan being attacked, because most people at first won't see that as a problem. Naval ships around aimed heavy caliber weapons at Taiwan. See, so it's talking about Taiwan, drawing closer to the nation. I saw military leaders in China pushing military pieces on a table planning map. There were radio communications, and leadership was sitting near a red button, meaning they're about ready to attack. There was angry speech and the pounding of fists on the table. The Chinese leader was also staring at a phone in his hand and rocking nervously in an old-fashioned American rocking chair that did not fit the decor in the room. I think that's saying that China used to be really good friends with America, but it's not exactly fitting for her to continue to be friends. I saw a table set beside the St. Basil's Cathedral near the Kremlin. Putin and his military leaders were having a picnic with empty wine bottles, not vodka bottles, on the table. So it's saying that they're rejoicing. Putin was holding his side in pain, not drinking. That may be hinting, as others have said, that he's actually sick. As you recall, Chris Reed said that him and the other guy in the White House are soon to meet the Lord. I'll say it that way. He had a cell phone in his hand and was staring at it while sitting at the same kind of rocking chair as the Chinese leader. Putin was very calm and relaxed and untouched by the boisterous generals around him. So it's saying that China and Russia used to be friends with America, but not so much anymore. The scene changed. European leaders were discussing the surrounding Taiwan and what should be done to help them. The decision was made to let the world leaders of the United States and Britain handle the crisis, as they all had faith in that plan. Each of the leaders stood and shook hands while wiping the sweat from their brow. Then I saw a split screen of both the Chinese leader and Putin hit send on their phones at the very same time. The leaders then casually shut their eyes and began to go to sleep. In other words, they've got it all planned. The Navy ships quickly turned away from Taiwan. Now, that means apparently that in the middle of this, it's all stopped. I saw many missiles raining down on Ukraine as it was a larger issue than reported in the news. I saw large missile silos all over western Russia uncovered and smoke coming out, but no launch took place. I think it's a threat. Okay, a lot of this is a threat. One large rocket launched from a Chinese ship headed east from Taiwan at hyperspeed, but the trajectory stopped over the middle of America. Hopefully, that's an angel from God taking it out. At best, it might be something that America has able to take it out. The plane at the first part of the dream dropped below the lowest clouds. I saw land patterns on the ground below. There was an explosion just above the plane, and it lost all power. The first time the descent was distracted by the pilot, but now the lights inside the plane went out. People became aware that their music had stopped and the TVs were off, and they were looking at the windows in shock, meaning this incident with Taiwan is apparently the first wake-up call that a lot of asleep Americans are about to get, letting them know that, yeah, not everything's good. And we probably are in the last days. There was screaming and beating on the pilot's door in absolute panic. Then it went completely dark. As the plane was going straight down, the man I always see, that's the angel, sitting next to the window unafraid, he said out through the window to me, I told them to pray, but they did not. They need to take it seriously now. See, this is all a wake-up dream. God has told us, since 1987, I've been blowing the trumpet, trying to get people to listen that the fall of America would start with an internal revolution in America started by the communists. How's it gone? Well, we should be on radio and TV all across the land. We should be a great big ministry. People ought to be giving us millions of dollars to buy more radio and TV, but no. I can tell you, America has not received not only the main warning, but pretty much anything else. As a matter of fact, there's over 400 different versions of the Bible. Leslie's going to be talking this Sunday on Kingdom Now or Dominionism. And this is a people that just totally wrote themselves a new Bible, and that way it's saying what they want it to say. So, we're not following the King James Bible in America anymore. We're following one of 400 other versions. So we don't like what God says, we just write our own book. Bad. Okay, now let's go to the next one. Vicky Parnell. Now, this was back in 22. This is not the main thing I wanted to get to today, but it's a more, so you'll understand it when we get there. Now look, daughter, at the world map again and tell me what you see. I looked at the black and white tabletop map and I saw war steps. Now, meaning these are the steps, boom, 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 leading to the Russian attack of America. If you listen to anything, listen to this program. I saw war steps written in red. I see different colored numbers on different bodies of land. Lord, what are these numbers I see displayed? They're running from 1 to 6. Daughter, they run from actually 6 to 1. For this is the beginning, or I will say the countdown. This is the beginning of the war steps until your once great nation is struck. So this, if you want to know when the Russians are going to attack and destroy America in 1 hour, boom. This is further confirmation telling you, if you have ears to hear. Oh no, daughter, you know man has failed to repent of their sins and turn back to me. This is part of the forewarned and foretold judgment. Part of. This is the wake-up. I know. I responded sadly and heavily hearted. Tell me, daughter, what do you see? Okay, Jesus, my love, if we're counting down, then I see Kazakhstan with orange 6. That's already happened. Upon it, Ukraine has a purple number 5. That's already happened. Taiwan has a yellow number 4. Okay, got that? Kazakhstan, Ukraine, Taiwan. Next, she's about to say Japan, then both Hawaii and Guam, and then boom, America gets hit. Taiwan is yellow number 4. I see Japan with a green number 3, but Jesus, my love, number 2 has 2 locations. There's a blue number 2 on both Hawaii and Guam. What is that? Little daughter of faith, once Taiwan is invaded by the king of the east with China's forces, Japan will retaliate quickly. So will your United States, but not before China strikes Japan. With your military forces speeding to help Taiwan and Japan, China's forces, with others, shall attack the U.S. territories of Hawaii and Guam. In other words, Kazakhstan, check it off, it's happened. Ukraine, check it off, it's happened. Taiwan, watch Taiwan, because if she really heard from God, then we're about to see Taiwan attacked. And then Japan, Hawaii and Guam, United States. So, are we going to about to see an internal revolution start in America this year? God's not told me for sure, but the answer has to be probably. This will keep your military forces' heads spinning, and while all eyes are upon your once great nation of America of Babylon, and China then Putin of Russia, the bear shall strike. He shall begin the first strike upon your land using various weapons and the power of the nuclei and the nuclear weapons, including his hypersonic Satan weapon. Now, question is, will China attack on January 10 to 24? Well, it's not me saying it, and I certainly don't know for sure. But as a watchman, it's credible. I'm bringing it to you. The Chinese New Year. Okay, so when is it? According to what I found on the internet, it's from February 10 through February 24, or 25 within that time. So here it is. This is the new one. 123 of 23. Excuse me. This is not the main one I'm talking about. This is background, I think. No, this is the new one. This is the new one. I'm seeing Chinese silk lanterns, red and gold, Chinese writing. Now they are paper, they are being lifted into the air, and there's fire inside them. They rise to the sky. Many of them, the writing is large gold and not small lanterns. I see Xi Jinping, and I see confetti falling from the sky. He's in a dark suit, white suit, medium blue tie. I see gold dragons, a serpent's body, and I kind of skipped that. It's not exactly important to what we're looking at today. So then he sees it's in a black vehicle, a top vehicle. She describes what he looks like, what he's in. Now I'm in a large room filled with gray computers. She describes that. There are people bustling about, and I see pilots in pilot gear, uniforms, walking with helmets in hand toward the designated jets. Some jets I see have steps, ladders being moved away. These already have pilots inside of them. In other words, they're preparing for an attack. Now I'm seeing a portyard, shipyard, a place of massive ships and boats. There's much activity aboard. I see Chinese military uniformed people carrying large bags, which I feel are personal items, such as clothes being brought on board, 1 bag each per soldier. Now, here we're getting to the important point now. When is this happening, Jesus? Is it during the New Year's celebration for China, or is it 2 separate events? No answer came. I see Xi Jinping has received a call. Whether it is in his personal or another phone, I don't know. He's listening. He's smiling. He speaks something in Chinese I can't understand. But immediately I see the jet hangar and ship's ports, and they're starting the jets, and the boats are pulling out to sea. Jesus, is Taiwan being openly invaded on the Chinese New Year? No longer in the secret of the shadows? So she asks the question specifically. Let me read it again. Is Taiwan being openly invaded on the Chinese New Year? Jesus answers and says, the time has arrived, meaning he's saying yes. Now, she did not say 2024. And if you back up, look, this was given 1/21 of 23, unless there's a typo there. That's 23, is a year ago. So we do not know necessarily if it's 24. But with everything going on, again, we're watchmen. Let's watch. So let me make it plain. No place in here does she say specifically this happens in 24, and she got it a year ago. The day the time has arrived, O beloved daughter of mine, I told you smoke screens are being removed, and also that Taiwan is a sign for you that it is time of war against your nation. Oh, let me also say, I'm kind of thinking it's too soon for this. But God hadn't told me. So again, I'm a watchman. I'm bringing you the warning. And it's a good thing to pray against. You've warned people, including those you love. I shall also keep my word and promise to you that which you have been spoken in my name shall come to pass, for I am a God that will not or cannot lie. It starts in full and not in part for real, my love, for all to see out of from under the smoke screen of lies and deception. Now, while she had the vision, it was a year ago, it may be she just released it because we just got it here just, I guess, a day or so ago. Now, this is going back. This is talking about China's preparations to attack USA and Nephilim giants. China's fighter jets are carrying out a dry run for major invasion. There's been a lot of articles, but essentially this article says that China keeps doing dry runs, sending all of its military in to threaten Taiwan. And of course, a person might say, well, is that a shot across the bow? Does that mean they're actually going to attack Taiwan? Well, that's just it. We don't exactly know. However, the satellite images here show increased activity at nuclear test sites. By the way, I do this, so if you want to read the article, you can pause and read it. I'm just giving you the overview. Satellite images show increased activity at nuclear test sites in Russia and China. So this was in 2021. This was in 2023. And as you can see, there are a lot of changes. Russia, the United States, and China have all built new facilities and dug new tunnels at their nuclear test sites in recent years. The world is getting ready to go to war. I think it's World War III, which I've said many times, started January 22 of 22, and it will not stop until Armageddon, until Jesus returns. World War III is the final war called Armageddon, but it's not really officially called Armageddon until Jesus returns and defeats them at the Battle of Jezreel in Israel. Let me talk about our three sponsors briefly. First, if you want to get gold or silver, we're going to send you to 800-200 gold or prophecyclubgold.com. prophecyclubgold.com. Second, if you want to get long-term emergency food, the only place I would send you to is josephskitchen.com. It is what I believe is God's long-term storage food. As you recall, Pharaoh and Joseph, what fed the world for 7 years was wheat. Most of your long-term storage places, $9,000 to $10,000 to feed one person for 1 year. Joseph's Kitchen can show you how to do it for about $1,000, one person, 1 year. And EMP Shield. If you want your car to start, if you want your computers to start after some kind of nuclear event, that's the device to get. And if you go to empshield.com and use the promo code PROPHECY, get your $50 discount and help your prophecy club.